What's up, everybody? This is MLO Joe here, standing in front of this Defender 110 we built out. We took a short little drive over to the local park. Want to do a quick walkthrough video and show you guys everything we did to this rig.
Alright, Joe, so we are in the 21 Defender 110. How does it feel? Obviously, we're like sitting up very high. It's kind of nice to be able to see everything, but what do you think of all the work we did to this rig? This has been in the shop for, what, about almost 2 weeks now?
Yeah,
so this has been a full build out.
Did a lot of work to this truck. Personally, the choices that the customer made were spot on, pretty much exactly the build I would do. You obviously have that awesome commanding driving position that you have in like the Discovery 2, which I'm used to. And once you kind of drive one of these, it's kind of hard to go back to, let's say, like a 4Runner or Tacoma or something.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You really get used to the commanding driving position in like this. So just driving this around, I've been pretty impressed with the acceleration on this. We've added a ton of weight to this vehicle, and we're running about 35-inch tires, so that's quite a big bump up from the stock size. And it seems to handle that extra weight and tire size no problem. This is the P400D model. So it does kind of have the hybrid powertrain, a little bit higher horsepower, but it just handles all this weight awesome. One thing to get kind of used to in this is the rear view mirror is actually a camera. So you kind of, when you look in the rear view, all you see is what's behind you. You don't kind of see the interior of your vehicle, which is kind of different.
That was a customer actually that just beeped at us.
That's actually one of our customers, Jesse. We drove right by his house and he noticed us. It looks like he's following us. I'm sure he wants to check out this new Defender.
Dude, this thing's pretty bad.
I know, right?
It's got like basically everything that you could put on it.
Basically. I can't think of anything else you could add.
Oh, I gotta get out and check it out. I saw you guys drive by. I was like, whoa, dude, check this thing out.
I was like, wait. I was like, this is right by Jesse's house.
Man.
So we parked this next to our Bronco. Holy shit, this thing is huge compared to the Bronco. So starting on the front end here, the most obvious addition you'll probably notice is this bull bar. So this is Australia's OEM bar from Land Rover that we had imported to the US. This kind of seems to be the best option for these Defenders and it gets a killer look. So moving down in the front here, if you look behind the grille, there's a Warren Xeon Platinum 10S winch tucked in behind here. And we went with a Factor 55 Haas Fairlead and a Factor 55's Flatlink E shackle. So moving down the side here, you'll notice we installed some limb raisers that are tied into the front bull bar, and then they're running up to the roof to attach to Lucky 8's light bar mount. So those are attached to there, and there's actually allocations to put up some big spotlights, which we'll probably be doing at a later date. And then moving down the side, you'll see we did a custom sidebar protection rails. These tie into the sliders all the way up to the bull bar. These are great for if you're running tight trails, give you a little extra side protection. And if you do end up hitting a deer or something, these will protect your side fenders from taking more damage. So one really cool thing about this build is we use J. Austin Fabworks subframe lift kit. So we still utilize all the factory control arms, air suspension, pretty much all the factory suspension components. We're basically just lifting it 4 inches with a big spacer kit. So moving on to the wheel and tire package, we went with Toughant Simpson wheel, which is an 18-inch wheel. And this is wrapped in a 285/75 R18 Toyo Open Country MT. This gives you tons of traction off-road, really good traction in the mud and sand. So in order to make some extra clearance for these larger 285/75 18 tires, we actually had to relocate the front intercoolers and push them up a little bit forward to get some added clearance when you're turning at full lock. So for some added protection, we use Lucky 8's rock sliders down below here. These offer tons of great protection from rocks on the trail. They'll also keep you off of trees if you're getting a little bit close. Save some body work. Sliders are kind of the first thing we always recommend to people kind of getting into off-roading and overlanding. If anyone's ever damaged a door or rocker panel on a rock, they know how expensive that can be. So this is kind of our first must-have modification to this rig. Moving up the side here, we use Lucky 8's Rotopax mount to get some extra fuel storage on the side here. We like keeping it on the side here to keep all that extra weight off the rear door. And with that 35 spare, that rear door is already handling a lot of weight. Since this Defender is a P400D model, it comes from the factory with large rear calipers, which makes it really hard, if not impossible, to fit smaller 18-inch wheels. So we use Lucky 8's caliper conversion in the back here, which converts to a smaller caliper but lets us run these 18-inch tough amp wheels. Up above the rotor packs, you'll see we installed a WeBoost antenna. If you're trying to get off the grid but still want to stay connected, this is a must-have. Trying to get cell service in those low service areas. We mounted the WeBoost antenna to Lucky 8's rear ladder, which gives you easy access up to the roof and makes it a little bit easier getting the James Peru 10 up top. So this is actually a really cool Max Trax mount. It's made by GP Factor and gives you easy access, keeps it on the spare tire back here, so if you get stuck in the mud, you're not having to climb up on the roof to get it off. And just kind of gives it easy access and also looks pretty cool. One other modification we had to do to this truck to fit the J. Austin Fabwork lift is we had to do some custom exhaust routing. From the factory, the exhaust routes in this same location, but since we did a subframe lift on this, it's kind of raising the whole exhaust system. So we're having some clearance issues with the rear suspension and control arms and stuff back here. So our guys in the shop welded up kind of a custom elbow and kick down to get some extra clearance on this exhaust. This storage box is actually a factory option from Land Rover. So the truck came in with this, and it actually has gaskets along the side here, so you can have some awesome dry storage. Even if it's raining, if you have some muddy stuff you kind of want to keep out of the truck, you just throw it in here and keep the inside of your truck a little bit cleaner. And then moving down the side up here, we have James Peru's awning. We wanted to go with the James Peru because he already has a James Peru tent, so we kind of wanted to keep everything flowing well together. And we really love their awning, so it's a good choice. So I hope everyone enjoyed the walk around we did on this epic Defender 110 build we just wrapped up. Now we're going to head back to the shop and talk to John, who's actually a Rover tech for multiple years before coming to Mainline Overland. And he was a great asset on this build, and we could always turn to him when we have questions, and he made sure that everything was performed flawlessly. I'm here with John, our Rover specialist.
How's it going?
He actually worked at a Land Rover dealer for what, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. So he's kind of our local knowledge on all things Land Rover, and you can always turn to him when we have questions or a more difficult build like this. So John, as we're in front of this Defender here, is there anything that was very difficult or created the most problems when putting this build together?
Yeah, so it's a full 4-inch lift from J. Austin Fabrication. They're out of Arizona, so nice built kit. Obviously there's a few other things that we had to do on it. The exhaust had to be customized. We also had to modify the kit in a special way. It is a kit made for Range Rover Sports and also new Discoveries, the Discovery 5. So there are some differences in chassis as well. These we had to actually relocate the front radiators. The auxiliary radiators here, so that was an interesting, part of the
not something
kit
you would think about right away.
Yeah, exactly. So, and obviously to fit the large 35s, I think they're like 35.1 inch tires. Definitely had to do some trimming and stuff like that. Obviously, the 4-inch kit, you can do anything from like a 33 to they say you can do a 37. Obviously, you'd have to do a little bit more modification. That type of thing.
37 seem a little ambitious.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, John, thanks for all the hard work and passion you put into this build. And couldn't have trusted a better person with it.
Yeah, lots of fun hours.
Hey guys, not Joe here because he couldn't handle doing this outro. If you liked this video, be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, turn your notification bell on so you don't miss a video from Mainline Overland.